Having 3 stars in Animal Crossing is considered the ending of the game, because basically once you achieve it, the end credits start rolling. However, in reality it's only the beginning, since you unlock new tools that give you creativity freedom to design your island and create impressive decorations. So today's video is about how I went for me trying to achieve those 3 stars. It's worth mentioning that this is my first time ever playing Animal Crossing. However, before recording this gameplay, I have already made some progress in the past, but I stopped playing a long time ago. Because of that, I'll be continue from where I left off. Even so, I want to make clear that I am a completely noob at this game. There are really a lot of things I still need to learn, so I apologize in advance if my lack of knowledge ends up stressing you out. With nothing more to say, let's get started. Step 1. 8 neighbors. I checked my app and I discovered I only had 7 villagers, so I had to find out a way to get the last one. That's why I went straight to buy a plot of a land that cost me like 10,000 bells. Total robbery, but okay. I looked for a good place to set down the plot, and after that, I had to figure out how to go to the Mystery Islands, since I understood that if you go there, you can find some characters to invite to your island. After watching a few YouTube videos, I learned that I first need to get a ticket, and then the option to travel to the Mystery Island will unlock in the menu. So I bought a Nook Mile ticket and set out on a mission to invite the first character I found. And that's how I found Naomi. I don't know anything about her, but she seems cool, so I invited her. It didn't look like she had much going on her own island anyway, but well, basically the next day she had already moved to my island and bam, step 1 is checked. So it was finally time to start with step 2 on my list, placing furniture around the island. And if I remember correctly, I'd need at least 27 different type of items. Once back home, I checked my storage to see what furniture I have available. And if you're wondering how I got all that stuff, well, quick story. When I first bought a game, I was super confused about what to do and how to start, since it was my first time ever playing Animal Crossing. So I joined a Facebook group, and when I asked what I could do, a very kind girl invited me to her island and gave me tons of items. I mean, I don't know if that counts as cheating, but it was really nice of her, so I took everything she gave me, and well, basically that's it, end of story. So back to the gameplay. Once I had all the furniture ready, I went out to check how to arrange everything, but I realized that a big part of my island still had a bunch of trees. So after eating some delicious orange, I started hitting them like crazy, and they never fell. After more YouTube tutorials, I found out that I need an iron axe, not a stone one. So once I finally had everything ready, I started chopping trees for a good while. And you can just like chop them and that's all. No. You also have to dig up their stumps. So after a while clearing everything, I finally have the space ready to place my furniture. So now, one piece here, another over there, a wall here, another wall here, and one more over here. Gossip time. And someone gave me a water rock fountain, and I knew exactly where to put it. After placing chairs, beds, pinball machines, more trees to chop, giant robots, pick for Insta, plus a new reaction, step 2 was done. So it was time to see Isabelle to check if at least I already have 2 stars, and this happened. What? Seriously? I was shocking, like I didn't think it would be this fast. I still had some extra steps on my list, like the original idea was to record all this over a period of 7 days, and I didn't think it would buy so quickly. I was ready for days of intense farming without leaving the house to touch grass. Well, anyway, KK arrived. This his concert, and they gave me the app to terraforming my island. Well, so since I managed to get the 3 stars pretty fast, I decided to add 2 more objectives. First, as you can see, at least the first room of my house looks good. It's not the best, but it's decent and I like it. But the second room is ugly. So, while searching online, I remember that I could find custom designs made by players and share them online. To do that, I had to spend some miles and also need an active online subscription. I was pleasantly surprised by the huge amount of content on Pinterest, where they share the design codes, so you just enter them in the game terminal and done. I spent a few times on Pinterest looking for good designs and picked this mosaic style one for the floor and this wood pattern one for the wall. I don't know how to describe it, but I think they will look good together. Now that I'm back home, comes the hard part. Decorating. Honestly, I've always been really bad at this kind of stuff, so I'll try to do in the best way I can. First, I laid a rug on the floor, and when it was time for the wallpaper, to be honest, it looks pretty good. I really like the tone of the walls, and the divisions between the floor tiles make a really nice contrast with the black walls. I think it would be a good idea to make this my bedroom and keep the main area as a living room to receive visitors and hang out with friends, if I have any. So I start by bringing my bed, wardrobe, and a decoration piece that might look nice. After adding things and stuff for a while, this was the first result. And well, I don't really like it. Something feels off, but also took the chance to rearrange my stuff in the living room, which ended up looking like this. And I think it looks better. Still, there's something about the bedroom that doesn't convince me. I mean, I feel like it could be better. So, I decided to go to the Nook terminal to check if there was something like some kind of furniture or something that could improve my room. And I bought this. I felt like it would look great in the room because of its colors, but I couldn't find anything else, to be honest. I was already a bit resigned, but at last try, I decided to check Nook's Cranny just in case I may found something decent, and you won't believe what they have. A complete gaming setup. Bro, it's incredible that the day I finally decided to enter the store after months of not playing the game, they happened to have exactly what I was looking for. So I quickly went to the ATM to withdraw those 53,000 bells to put in my room, and boom, I had to remodel a bit. But I think now it actually looks good. Sure, it could be better, but for a moment I'm satisfied, and as the time goes on, I'll keep playing, so I'm sure I'll find more ideas and get better things for my room. So now I'll play a victory song. But well, comparing how it looked before, it honestly looks much better. For now, I think the goal was accomplished, so task 3 checked. So the next goal on the island was to open the museum cafe, but I had a problem. And is if I had to wait for the crazy red to come to my island so I could buy an original piece of art and bring it into the museum to open the second floor. But he hasn't shown up. A long time ago he came once and I bought this statue which is I placed outside of my house. But that was the only time. Every day when I got home, I checked the game and I never saw him on the island. According to the internet, he appears sometime in the morning and leaves at 12 p.m., which makes it impossible for me to see him since I'm usually at school at a time. So once again, I change goals, and this time I will be using the Iceland terraforming feature for the first time to create something that look nice. Terraforming. After searching online, I found this image that seems like a good idea to start with. So I opened the app and to my surprise I saw that I had to buy the waterscaping cliff building permits. So after I visited the resident service I was ready. My first mistake was thinking water worked the same way as is in Minecraft. So I started making this small space where I thought it just need to let the water flow, and nope. So I decided to start somewhere else. And yes, everything I did before was a waste of time. But at least I understood the mechanics better. In the meantime, one of my villagers talked to me saying that maybe it was time for her to move out. And I kind of feel like it was because I started building in front of her house. But well, honestly, I was going to move her anyway. So it was fine. I tried talking to Tom Nook to move her house, but apparently I had to wait until she actually left. So I began leveling the terrain where the first side of the waterfall would go, even though I understood the mechanics a bit better. So I kept making a bunch of mistakes, placing blocks where I didn't want them, breaking blocks I didn't mean to break, and after a while the first level was ready. And with the water flowing it started to take shape. Then it was time for the second level. And after a few mistakes and a lot of frustration, it was ready. Now I basically need to expand the lower part of the waterfall to make it look like a river, which in theory is the easiest part. You just remove dirt from here and I'd really like to know if I'm doing something wrong. I get that it's my first time doing this and I still don't fully understand how it works. But seriously, to remove that single block I have to climb up, create another block to get close enough, then remove the one, and then remove the one I actually wanted gone. All that for one block. If there's a better way, I appreciate it if someone could tell me in the comments, please. The next day, she really had left. At first, I didn't care, but seeing the empty space felt kind of sad. But well, life goes on. I went back to Tom Nook, but since we were no residents, I couldn't move the house. Until someone else came. So okay, I went to the campsite and apparently someone was visiting them and I went inside. And what the fussy? Bro looks strange and his voice definitely wasn't what I expect, so nope, he's staying out of my headline. I continue connecting the waterfall and leveling the terrain for the right side area. And it was still a bit annoying, but I was feeling more comfortable with the terraforming thing. And I think it finally looked good. I want to add a bridge in the middle because I thought it would look amazing, but unfortunately I couldn't, since the river was too wide and both sides need to have an equal length. So I decided to follow the original idea from the iMatch, and I have to move a log bridge that was there, but I had to wait like a whole day for it to be demolished. So using some forbidden hacks, the bridge was gone. Also, the new island resident, Patty, finally arrived, so after meeting her, I went straight to Tom Nook to make the arrangement. And I didn't record that part, but basically the house moved from here to here. So I added a few more details to the waterfall and I went straight to the terminal to buy a fountain I had seen before. Once I received the fountain in my email, I decided to place it in the end of the waterfall. And obviously, it needed something more because it looked very simple. So after looking at the reference iMatch, I noticed that it had like a different type of ground that contrasts with the environment around the waterfall. So I went to the design portal to find some kind of wallpaper or flooring that could combine well with the fountain. And this was the one I found. After spending a good amount of time adding the wallpaper, the final result looks more or less like this. To be honest, I know that I could still add more things, but at this point my creativity is at 0%. Still, I think the goal of continuing to make progress on the island was achieved. Also, as date of this video, we're just about to get a new Animal Crossing update coming in January, and in case you didn't know, I'm a huge Splatoon fan. My more than 1,600 hours back me up, so as you may already know, the Splatoon 3 collaboration with Animal Crossing is coming, and I'll definitely do everything possible to complete the entire collection no matter what. Anyway, this has been today's video. I know it's been a long time since the last one I uploaded, but school and work take up a lot of my time. I'm finally on vacation now, so I'm already working on other videos I have pending. One is related to the software engineer side and another one with more gameplay, so please stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and that's all for now, and see you later. Thank you so much, and bye bye.